and seeking the Lord. What's the spirit there, man? I got a quick one, man. This is Sirach 21, Sirach 20, verse 32. It says, necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that liveth his life without a guide, man. So yeah, if you live your life without some type of guide and instruction, that's gonna lead to what your demise, your destruction.
Hey, and I was gonna say, even when the heathen just live according to the scriptures, they even have, it's just certain things like a prime example. I remember you mentioned this a long time ago, dealing with that Moism shit. Even when the Lord said a man shouldn't be backdooring another man, if the heathen follow that, that is prosperous for them. Because that's how niggas get all type of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even keeping our law, not eating strip crab, lobster, and pork, there's benefits in that.
It leads to better health.
It leads to better health in your life. So hey, the law is good for everyone.
Yeah.
Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who still rule and teach well, who taught me this 100% truth. Peace and blessings and safety unto the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing this word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And this would just be a quick line back off of what the elder brothers was going into this week at camp. This is our camp video from August 9th, 2025, GMS Cleveland camp. And like the brothers going into, the law is good for everybody, okay? The laws are good for everybody. This is why it says in Romans the 8th chapter that this creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God, because it tells you in Proverbs 29:2 that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn, because the rules and regulations, if you will, the laws that the wicked go by are not fair. They're not equitable. They don't gender life, okay? Think of it like this. The Heavenly Father, through his only begotten Son, is the creator of all these things. And think of the law as a manual, if you will. When you buy a dresser, or you buy a desk, or you buy a couch, or anything that you have to put together, it's going to come with an instruction manual. A vehicle, it's going to come with an instruction manual, and it's going to let you know that if you run into this issue, this is what you should do. In order to maintain this part of the car, this is what you need to do. And so that's what the law is. It's going to keep the Lord's creation functioning at a high level when the law is in place. And so like the brother was saying, even the heathen will receive benefits from keeping the law. Now, I want to read a couple precepts on that. This is Sirach 20 and 32. Necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. Necessary patience in seeking the Lord. The word patience goes into suffering. Okay? Because it's gonna be a spiritual battle when you're trying to institute the laws of the Heavenly Father. This is why in the kingdom of heaven, pursuant to Isaiah the 2nd chapter, we will enforce the laws of the Heavenly Father. And by enforce, I mean we will do it. And if people don't want to obey, it will be a punishment behind it. And it's going to be a struggle for the heathen, because they're going to, the battle that we're fighting right now, the spirit versus the flesh, they're going to experience that in the kingdom. They're going to have to go through that in the kingdom. Okay? It says in Isaiah 2:2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. This is the nation of Israel ruling in the kingdom. Verse 3, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem. So out of Zion shall go forth the law, because the law is beneficial. The law is holy and just and good. Romans chapter 7. Romans chapter 7 and verse 12. It says, wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good. See, just, equitable. Okay? Good for everybody. Okay? Fair and good. for your spiritual benefit, for your physical benefit, for your mental benefit. The law was given for all of these reasons. Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter, said that. Blow the dust off of this precept. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy power, because it tells you in Psalms 147 that the law was given to Israel, not to the other nations at this particular time. When will the law be given to the other nations? When will the other nations be required to come under the law? In the kingdom of heaven. And the nation of Israel is the only nation that's been receiving punishment for breaking the law. Now you have special instances such as the nation of Edom, who took the law in their mouth, who took their covenant of the Lord in their mouth, pursuant to Psalms, the 50th chapter. And so they're going to receive certain type of condemnation unto themselves for doing such. But in general, the nations are not being punished for breaking the law. But the nations are still being punished. Okay, so wrap your head around that. It tells you that in Wisdom of Solomon that he punishes them 1,000 times more. So the Lord is still fucking these nations up because they're living without the law, but he's judging Israel for breaking the law with mercy. It says in Deuteronomy 10 and 12, and now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy power require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. So these commandment statutes are for your good. They're for the benefit of the entire world. And I want to go to there now. And this is the main precept that I was holding, but you know, sometimes spirit switching precepts don't come out. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 24. It says, but the multitude of the wise is for the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. Receive therefore instruction through my words, through the law, statutes, and commandments. This is actually the entire book, and it shall do you good. You see that? So these things are for the welfare of the world, even the heathen. Like I said, they're going to benefit from the law, statutes, and commandments being put in place because at least they're going to get a fair shake. They're not going to be being scammed, extorted, robbed, you know, like how Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is doing the whole planet Earth. Proverbs 29, verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So the Heavenly Father is going to establish somebody over the earth, which is the Israelites, beginning with Yahushua, King David, the 12. He's going to establish the Israelite rulership on the earth, which is going to be profitable to the earth. Sirach 10 and 1, a wise judge will instruct his people with the proper guidelines. The proper guidelines are the law, statutes, and commandments, because I read that the commandment is holy and just and good. It says, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So this is why in the kingdom, the inhabitants of the earth are going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Matter of fact, I think that's Isaiah 26. Yes. Isaiah 26 and 9. It says, with my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, when we establish the law of the Lord in the earth, we're going to execute judgment for breaking the law. This is what's going to happen. It says, when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. So you see that? So the world, when we put in the law, statutes, and commandments, the heathen, they're going to learn righteousness. They're going to learn what it is to do good. And they're going to see the benefits of doing good in real time. So as the ruler of the city is, which are the Israelites, such are all his officers and such are all the inhabitants that dwell therein. So the heathen, they're going to learn the law, statutes, and commandments. Jumping down to verse 4, Sirach 10 and 4. I'll just keep reading. Verse 3, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. See? And that's Yahweh Shai. Okay? It's going to be profitable. Let's look at the word profitable, because the word means to yield spiritual benefit. See, that's what this world does not give you. You know, in some instances, you know, you may get a physical benefit from this world. You may get a mental boost from this world, but this world does not offer any spiritual benefit because it's established on breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. It's an anti-Messiah system. It's an anti-Messiah world. So everything in this world is against the Messiah. It's against the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son. It's against the Bible. The word profitable from the 13th century, it says yielding spiritual or moral benefit, useful, advantageous, expedient, helpful. So that's what Yahweh Shai's rulership, the Israelites' rulership, will be. It will yield spiritual benefit for the whole world. The nations will no longer worship false gods. They'll actually get to know the true power. Okay? So this is what the world needs. Sirach 10, I'm going to close here. 14, the Lord have cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. The Lord have plucked up the roots of proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. The Lord overthrew the countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. He took some of them away and destroyed them and have made their memorial to cease from the earth. That's the Edomites. Ultimately, the Edomites are going to be exterminated from the planet Earth. Okay? And all the tribes of Edom with them. But these proud nations, all of these heathen, they're all going to be cast down, and they're going to have to serve the Israelites, and they're going to have to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, but it's going to be for their good. And they know it. Deep down, they know it. They know that, you know, the kingdom of heaven is going to be just that. It's going to be heaven. After the 1,000 years where we enslaved the heathen, it's going to be peaceful. It's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be glorious, you know? Romans chapter 8. Romans 8 real quick. And verse 19. It says, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. So the earnest expectation of the creation, the creature meaning creation, from the trees to the heathen, to the rocks, to the beetles, to the birds, they're all waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. They're all waiting for the rightful owners of the universe to rule the universe, to rule the world, to rule the planet Earth in righteousness. Okay? And we're waiting for our King, Yahweh Shai, to come and establish that. So, Lord, when this is edifying, just a quick hit. Call me Asherala. Shalom.